Well, the skies overhead may be gloomy, but the atmosphere here at Rangers Ballpark is all sunshine as the Rangers get set to try and sweep the Cleveland Indians and go past 3 million in attendance for 2012. And welcome in, everybody. A special night here at the ballpark. Along with Tom Grieve, I'm Steve Busby. Glad you could join us for this evening. Yeah, the Rangers are going to go over 3 million fans tonight. A lot of us didn't think that would ever happen here in Texas, but boy, it's amazing what has happened the last 3 years, and nothing now is beyond belief. Another guy that's not beyond belief is Derek Holland. He has really pitched well, winning his last 3 outings, and he is the guy that the Rangers really need to get straightened out.
Well, he seems to be straightened out, Buzz. His last 6 starts have found him coming into his own. And fortunately, his last start was his best start. He's really headed in the right direction. Last start against Tampa Bay, career high 11 strikeouts. He pitched 8 innings. It's the best he's thrown all season long. He looked like he did in the World Series against St. Louis last year. His fastball touched 95. It was consistently over 94. The results were terrific. And over his last 6 starts, those starts have gotten better. All of them have been good. And as you head down to the last couple of weeks of the season, that's a nice development.
Yep. Derek looking for his 11th win tonight. He comes in at 10-6. And Adrian Beltre, who was questionable up until early batting practice today, back in the lineup. He will be the DH as the Rangers look for the sweep against the Cleveland Indians. That's all coming up next on Fox Sports Southwest. On Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by the Built Ford Tough Truck event. Enjoy huge savings on America's best-selling truck for 35 years running. Ford is the best in Texas. Well, a crowd on hand large enough to get the Rangers over 3 million. A very much anticipated night here, and skies so far cooperating, although there is rain in the area. We are understanding at this point in time, it looks like we'll be able to get the ball game in hopefully without interruption. Before we get things started, let's go down and welcome in Emily Jones. Emily?
Well, Buzz, you'll remember last night Adrian Beltre aggravated that shoulder making the diving catch. He lobbied Ron Washington to stay in the game. He did not win that argument. Mike Olt came in for him. However, he was not about to lose another argument a second day in a row. He was not in the lineup when the clubhouse opened this afternoon, but Adrian Beltre arrived at the ballpark, went into Ron Washington's office, and promptly the lineup was changed, and he is back in. It is further proof as to why Ron Washington says if you don't have Adrian Beltre in your MVP conversation, you're just plain crazy.
He's such a professional, and you know, when you talk about MVPs, you talk about guys that can make everyone else around him better, and that's what Adrian does. He makes everyone on our team better, simply not because of his game, but because the personality that he has, the great teammate that he is, and more than that, you know, the great player that he is. And he certainly don't love talking about himself, and you know, I'll do it for him.
And his teammates talking plenty about him too. Ron Washington with tonight's Geico quote of the game. Ian Kinsler said last night, if you're not considering Adrian Beltre, that you must have been eating paint chips as a kid. A very popular Tommy Boy reference, you guys.
Well, we had him in our conversation last night,
we did.
Buzz, so
and we will
we're on board.
We will continue to have him in our conversation. Ron Washington and Jackie Moore hoping to watch that ball club in the red tonight. Able to take on the Cleveland Indians and complete a 3-game sweep. Now here's the lineup that Manny Acta has put out there this evening that will take on Derek Holland. Ezekiel Carrera leads off. He's the center fielder. The shortstop, Brett Lillibridge, bats second. Jason Kipnis bats third. He plays second. The DH tonight, Carlos Santana. He bats cleanup. Vinny Rotino, the start in left field, batting fifth. Matt Laporta is at first. In right field, hitting seventh, is Thomas Neal. The catcher is Lou Marson. And batting ninth, playing third base, is Jack Hanahan.
And for the scouting report on Derek Holland, a win in his last start brought him to 10-6. 189 opponent's batting average in his last 6 starts. 3-0 in 5 career starts against the Indians, including a win in them a couple of starts ago up in Cleveland. He pitched well in that game. 7 innings, 7 hits, gave up a couple of runs. But his best start was his last start. That was against Tampa Bay. 11 strikeouts, a career high, 8 innings, only 2 hits. Fastball was the best velocity he's had all year long. The command of all his pitches was terrific. You could tell he was feeling good, too.
And the first pitch to Ezekiel Carrera is a bit outside for ball one. Carrera not in the original lineup that Manny Acta had in mind. Next pitch to him is a strike. Originally, Michael Brantley was going to play center field, but they had to scratch Brantley. So Carrera in there batting leadoff tonight against Derek Holland. 1-1 pitch. And that's fouled away to the left. Ranger defense tonight looks like this. A little bit of a change. David Murphy in left. Leonis Martin in center. Nelson Cruz in right. Moreland, Kinsler, and Andrews up the middle with Michael Young at third base. Giovanni Soto catching Derek Holland here this evening. A swing and a foul down by Carrera. Just able to stay alive at a ball and 2 strikes. Last 11 games, Carrera suffering through some down times with the offensive output. 1-2 pitch. Call strike 3. Holland nailed down that outside corner with a fastball, and he strikes out the first man he faces here tonight.
Well, it looked like a borderline strike right at the bottom of the strike zone, right on the corner. Derek gets the call, and that's a call a pitcher wants to get, too. And you see it touching exactly where he was aiming. A good call by home plate umpire Mark Carlson. You're a pitcher, you feel like if you're going to pitch a great game, that's a call that you want to get.
And there's Mark Carlson behind the plate along with Angel Hernandez, Ed Hickox, and Chris Conroy. First around to third. Brett Lillibridge takes ball one. Lillibridge, the shortstop tonight, hitting just $190. He has had good numbers against Derek Holland, 3 for 7. Chops this one to the right side. Nice convenient hop for Ian Kinsler. 2 gone. So Holland gets a couple of quick outs on a strikeout and a chopper to the right side. That'll bring up Jason Kipnis. Now the Indians coming in having lost 5 straight ball games. They only won 3 of their last 10. They are 4-6 in September. The Maniacnas team has gone just 15-43 since the All-Star break. They are now 17.5 games behind the front-running White Sox in that Central Division. First pitch to Kipnis is a little bit low for ball 1. Kipnis tied for the team lead with those 65 RBI. You can see he's fared well against Derek Holland. Gets fisted here, chops one down to Moreland right at the bag, and Mitch just steps on first. A very easy 1-2-3 inning. Well done by Derek Holland and his Ranger teammates. A half inning in the books. Indians nothing. Rangers coming up on Fox Sports Southwest. Derek Holland disposed of the Indians in the top of the first. Now the Rangers come to bat in the bottom half of the initial frame. And here's Ron Washington's lineup. Ian Kinsler leads off. He's at second. Elvis Andrus is the shortstop. David Murphy bats third tonight in place of Josh Hamilton. Adrian Beltre back in the lineup, DHing tonight and batting cleanup. Nelson Cruz in right field hits fifth. Michael Young at third base is the sixth hitter. Mitch Moreland is at first. The catcher is Giovanni Soto. He bats eighth, and hitting ninth, playing center field, Leonis Martin. And 24-year-old right-hander Zach McAllister fires strike one to Ian Kinsler.
McAllister's 5-7. His ERA went up in his start against the Rangers. 14 earned runs in his last 12 innings.
Chopper right at the bag at third, and Hanahan able to handle Kinsler's chopper. There's one away.
Opponents 15 for 15 in stolen base attempts against him. Problem he had in his start against the Rangers a couple of starts ago. He gave up 4 home runs, pitched 5 innings, gave up 11 hits and 7 runs. Before that, he'd been throwing the ball pretty well, but Rangers got a lot of pitches out over the plate and just really hit the ball out of the ballpark against him over 5 innings. Former third-round pick by the Yankees, acquired a couple of years ago by the Indians.
One away here in the bottom of the first. Elvis Andrus steps in. And the first pitch to him is a strike for McAllister. Andrus has hit safely in both of these contests and 31 straight games against the Cleveland Indians to open his career. 1 ball, 1 strike. Elvis for the season, a .297 hitter with 3 home runs, and he has driven in 54. Rangers, in contrast to the Indians, 7-4 in September. Chopper slowly hit to short. Lillibridge off balance throw is on the money, and Elvis is retired, so 2 ground balls and 2 outs. I'll show you the rest of the Indians defense. Rotino in left, Carrera in center, Neal is in right field. Laporta at first, Kipnis and Lillibridge up the middle, Hanahan at third, and Lou Marson gets the start behind the plate, handling Zach McAllister. Murphy at the plate hitting .317, and a big night last night. 3-hit ball game. .397 on base percentage for Murph. 0-1 pitch, and that's a bit high. David, 13 home runs, 54 RBI. And McAllister back. Gets a strike call at the knees on the outside corner.
That's the same pitch Derek got for strike 3 to Carrera. Same part of the plate.
You see the on-base percentage leaders in the American League. Joe Mauer still atop the heap. Swinging strike 3, and Murphy is gone. And like his counterpart, Derek Holland, Zach McAllister sends the Rangers down in order. We've finished 1. No score in Arlington on Fox Sports Southwest. The top of inning number 2 here in Arlington. A very comfortable evening. Temperature in the mid-70s right now with a cloud cover. Breeze drifting out towards center field. And Derek Holland ready to go to work. Carlos Santana, the DH and cleanup man, will start things off. And Santana tired of waiting and backs out. Santana, a .246 hitter, but he has had very good success against Derek Holland, including a home run in Derek's last outing against Cleveland at Progressive Field. 1-0 pitch. Good changeup. A ball and a strike to Santana. The switch hitting catcher, first baseman, DH up there from the right side.
More power on the road, better average at home.
That breaking ball is all the way to the backstop, and the count goes to 2-1.
Derek sporting the old-fashioned white socks with red stirrup socks on top of them and the pants pulled up. That's a look going back to the 70s.
And he misses inside. 3-1 now to Santana. Derek okays the sign. To the wind he goes. And the pitch looped into right field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Now Santana, in a hitter's count, got jammed, but strong enough to shovel it out into right field for a leadoff single. And let's welcome Jim Knox in. Jim.
All right, thank you, Buzz. Ranger fans looking for the sweep tonight, right? You bet. Community Corner this evening. It is North Texas Giving Day, and that's right, Ranger fans, make your donations count. Log on to DonorBridgeTex.org, and your donations tonight will be matched. The proceeds go to the Texas Rangers Baseball Foundation, helping out the great kids in North Texas. Buzz?
Thanks, Jim. Vinny Rotino is the hitter, and Rotino takes Pitch out of the strike zone for ball one. Rutino called up on August the 1st by the Indians when Travis Hafner had to go back on the disabled list. He takes inside. It's 2-0. Rutino was optioned back on the 4th of August when Hafner came off that paternity list. It was not the disabled list. And he was recalled on September the 4th. High and inside, it's 3 balls and no strikes. So Giovanni Soto going to go out and have a little talk with Derek Holland.
Well, you couldn't be much better than Derek was for 3 batters in the first inning. But he fell behind Santana 3-0. He's fallen behind Rotino, now 3-0. 3-1 to Santana, 3-0 to Rotino.
Derek has talked about striving to be more consistent, and this is a pretty good snapshot of what he was talking about, where you have a very easy 9-pitch first inning, and he throws a strike here, and then you come out and go 3-1 on the first 2 hitters the next inning, almost without explanation. Santana, the runner at first, nobody out here in the top of the 2nd inning. Chopper at home plate. That got a pretty good piece of Rutino, and the count is now 3-2. Rutino hit .297 with AAA affiliate of the Cleveland Indians this year. Had a very good minor league year. Payoff pitch. High in the air to left field. Murphy started back, now moving to his left toward the alley. Makes the catch. Back to first goes Santana. That is out number 1. So a good job by Derek Holland, falling behind 3-0 and then coming back with 3 straight strikes to get the fly ball out. The 1 gone, Matt Laporta. First baseman will step to the plate. As Tom and I have talked about this Cleveland Indians lineup, at least the one that was used the majority of the year, very heavy left-handed. And what Manny Acta has done with a lot of the double and AAA call-ups in September is fortify the right side of the lineup. So he's starting guys like Laporta and Rutino, Thomas Neal, getting them in the lineup to not give the left-handers such an advantage. First ball swinging, a fly ball to right is taken care of by Nelly Cruz. That's out number 2.
Yeah, in this particular game, you've got Chu and Brantley. Brantley's hurt a little bit. Both left-hand hitters aren't in the game. Asdrubal Cabrera is a switch hitter. He's not in the game. So they're not trotting out their strongest lineup tonight, whether it's a left-hand pitcher or a right-hand pitcher. I think they're probably in September, Buzz getting a look at some of the players that got called up, giving them a chance to face some lefties.
Sure. Here's Thomas Neal. And Holland throws a strike on the inside corner.
Well, Giovanni went out there when the count went to 3-0 on Rotino. Whatever he said registered with Derek, because he's thrown all strikes since then.
0-1 pitch. Out of play to the right. The mark of a good catcher is knowing not only when to go out to the mound, but what to say when you get out there. Some guys you have to chew on a little bit, and some guys you have to pump up and reassure them they're okay and their stuff's good. And it's like Giovanni Soto's found the knack with Holland. A good fastball in on Thomas Neal, and he fights it off foul. It's kind of like being a coach. You know, no matter what, pitching coach, hitting coach, whatever. When you're dealing with guys, you've got a bunch of different personalities, and some guys need to be patted on the back, and some guys need to be kicked in the hindquarters. Holland ready. And again, the 0-2 pitch. Got it right on the fist, and a little two-hopper down to Mitch Moreland. That'll do a good job by Derek Holland to bounce back. And he has done it here in the 2nd inning. No runs a hit, 1 left. No score after 1.5 on Fox Sports Southwest. Well, the Rangers and Indians are scoreless here in the bottom of the second inning. Weekday afternoon promo. The next Thursday home game at Rangers Ballpark, September 27th. Rangers hosting the Oakland A's. It's a 1:05 start. You can book your vacation day now to support your Rangers in the Western Division showdown against the Athletics. For tickets, go to TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS. Adrian Beltre leading things off, and he takes a fastball strike. Beltre, a home run last night. Mr. September in the last 2 years, and this year he has been Mr. June, July, August, and September for the Rangers. He has just gone crazy. 32 home runs. That ties his second best mark of his career. He had 32 last year also. Look at that, since August the 20th. Takes that off-speed pitch. It's a strike, 1-2 now, as he faces McAllister. Beltre homered off McAllister in that matchup on getaway day in Cleveland a couple of weeks ago. 1-2 pitch, hard hit, a base hit to left field.
Well, he saw a changeup, and he was ready for the next one. He's in one of those streaks where he's waiting on the changeup and timing it, and he's right on the fastball. It's really nothing you can throw him right now unless you make a good pitch with him. You throw it out over the plate, it doesn't matter what kind of a pitch it is, he's going to hit it hard. That changeup came back toward the inside part of the plate. And from McAllister's point of view, the good thing was he didn't get it up in the air.
Well, Beltre aboard with the leadoff single here in the second. First base runner for the Rangers. Here's Nelly Cruz. Rips the first pitch foul to the right, and it's 0-1. Cruz at .254, and his average has been dropping substantially over the last couple of weeks. Nelly in his last 18 ball games hitting just .164. 0-1 pitch. And it's 0-2 as McAllister gets that 92-mile-an-hour fastball in the inside corner. See, Nelly just 2 for his last 27 trips to the plate. 0-2 pitch on the way.
Even though the Rangers knocked McAllister around a little bit in Cleveland, 11 hits, 7 runs, 4 home runs in 5 innings, he's actually thrown the ball well this year. He's had, in 13 of his 18 starts, he's given up 3 earned runs or less. He's been pretty consistent, and anybody can have a bad day. And that day against the Rangers, he faced a hot team and made a couple of bad pitches, and they made him pay for it.
This is outside with a breaking ball. 1-2 now. One thing about McAllister, he is not afraid to throw strikes. He does not walk a lot of people. Has a good selection of pitches to work with. 1-2 pitch to Cruz. Just off the outside corner. The count is even. McAllister at 6'6", 240 pounds, a pretty imposing figure on the mound. He was the 3rd round draft pick of the Yankees back in 2006 out of Chillicothe High School in Illinois. Came over to the Cleveland Indians as part of a trade in 2010. High and tight, and Nelly Cruz now has worked the count full after being down in it 0-2. So Cruz trying to continue things here in the second inning. He'll be followed by the Ranger third baseman Michael Young, getting ready in the on-deck circle. Marson flashing the signs out, and McAllister's ready. Payoff pitch. Out of play to the right. Now, in case you happen to miss it this afternoon, the Angels shut out Oakland, and they avoided a 4-game sweep. 6-0 the final out in Anaheim. Jared Weaver starting that ball game. First time he'd pitched in a couple weeks. Again, the 3-2. And again fouled off. And Nelly having some pretty good rips against McAllister.
Just can't quite connect. A lot of those foul balls are being fouled off the good part of the bat, just not the center of the bat.
Those are the updated standings of the American League West. Ron Washington's club, 3.5 games the advantage now over Oakland. Got him swinging. Pulled the string, and Cruz out in front of it. McAllister gets his second strikeout. One away here in the second for Michael Young.
They throw him a bunch of fastballs, and he went to the slider on that 3-2 pitch and got Nelly to miss it.
So here's Michael stepping to the plate with a modest 2-game hitting streak going. An average of 265 and reached the 60 RBI plateau. Breaking ball is wide of the mark. It's 1 ball and no strikes. You see Michael Young those 3 home runs. He joins Beltre and Hamilton as the trio of Rangers that have that many this month. Outside corner, it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Young was 1 for 3 off McAllister in that matchup in Cleveland. Beltre the lead from first, albeit a modest one. Being held on by Matt Laporta as McAllister sets. And Young shoots it foul into the second deck on the right side. A ball and 2 strikes. Rangers with the best record in the American League at 85-57. And that has been the case, having the best record in the American League for some 18 days now. Make that 22 days now. And Young shoots another one foul down the right side.
A lot of foul balls against McAllister so far.
And there are the best records in the American League. Top 2 belong to the Western Division Rangers and Oakland. Baltimore, New York. Our 3rd and 4th. McAllister's 1-2. And Young skies one to right center field. Hit pretty well, chasing Neal back. And he stops well short of the track to put it away. Back to first goes Beltre. There are now 2 outs for Mitch Moreland. Well, fans, to celebrate 40 years of baseball in the Metroplex, Metro PCS is giving away 40 Samsung 4G LTE phones. Enter to win at all participating locations. Metro PCS is wireless for all. So 2 gone. Adrian Beltre still at first after that leadoff single, and Mitch Moreland will step in. Mitch hitting .287 since coming back off the disabled list. That batting average had been up as high as the low 290s. Now he's back down to just a tick below .280. Shoots one to left field. That's going to be in for a base hit. Beltre to second will stop there. And Mitch Moreland going the other way against Zach McAllister has the second Ranger hit of the inning and of the night.
Yeah, Mitch is very capable of using the whole field. And when they put that shift on against him like that, when he gets the pitch out away from him, he can drive it the other way. That didn't really matter where the shift was. It's a line drive. It had it been a ground ball in that direction, you can see all the room on the left side of the infield. He would have grounded it into left field for a hit.
A 2 on, 2 out. Here's Giovanni Soto now. Soto had his 17th RBI as a Ranger last night with a sacrifice fly. And McAllister's pitch has the outside corner for a strike. Giovanni in his 34th game in a Ranger uniform. He has been handling yeoman duty as far as the catching spot is concerned. It's the next pitch foul out of play down the right. Good news on Mike Napoli. They anticipate Knapp will be ready to step back in and help out behind the plate over the weekend. Napoli is slated to play tomorrow with the Rough Riders in Frisco as they continue their playoff series. Napoli caught all 9 innings last night, had a home run, threw out a potential base stealer. 0-2 pitch, and Soto takes it high. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And in the meantime, Giovanni Soto handling the majority of the catching chores. This is 26th start behind the plate in the last 32 games. Call strike 3. Sinking fastball to the outside corner. And McAllister works around a couple of singles. Rangers strand 2 on those 2 hits. We're going to the third. It's the Indians nothing, the Rangers nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. Texas Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Head to your Texas Ford dealer and drive the best in Texas. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. A lot of Ranger red in the ballpark tonight. Scoreless game as we head to the top of the 3rd inning. And Lou Marson, the number 8 hitter, leads things off. Derek Holland misses low and inside to the Cleveland catcher for ball 1. Marson at 228. You can see he's had 10 at-bats against Derek Holland. 1 base hit in those 10 trips to the plate. And Holland gets a high strike. It's 1-1.
The highest batting average in the Indians lineup is Kipnis, 255. The only one with a lot of at-bats really in the lineup. Santana's got a few at-bats. He's hitting 246.
Yeah, and as you were talking about, Tom, the combination of some injuries, Cabrera and Michael Brantley, plus wanting to see some of those young guys play. It's not your typical Indians lineup that you would see, say, in July and August.
No, they weren't playing good with their best lineup.
Yeah.
So it stands to reason they're going to be struggling with their less than good lineup.
2-2, the count to Marson. Chopper toward third. It's dropped by Michael, retrieves but has no play. Michael trying to cut that off in front of Elvis Andrus. Had to go off the tip of his glove, and we'll see how that is ruled. That's going to be ruled a base hit, and you can see why. Michael, even had he caught that ball, would have had to make a full 360-degree spin and throw. So the second hit of the night for the Cleveland Indians, the second leadoff hit for him. Had a leadoff hit from Carlos Santana last inning. 1 on, nobody out. Here's Jack Hanahan, and the first pitch hits him. So Derek Holland working to one of the left-handed hitters in the lineup, Hanahan, hit him with the first pitch. And that puts runners at first and second with nobody out, and a very good bunter in Ezekiel Carrera coming to the plate.
Kind of a careless pitch that got away from Derek right there. You got a left-hand hitter batting ninth up there. Just let one get away.
Conference on the mound. Young, Andrus, and Soto talking with Derek Holland. And to get the bunt defense squared away here as Carrera steps in. Speedy center fielders tried to bunt a couple times in this series. Hasn't had any success with it yet. He's around to bunt here and bunts it right out in front of home plate. Soto going to have to hurry and just did get him.
Yeah. Soto called off Holland. And probably a good thing he did. I don't know if Derek could have gotten there in time and turned and thrown and got Carrera. Runs really well going to first base. But that was a good heads-up play by Soto, who called him off, fielded it, going more